All right, man. What's up, y'all? I have not changed out my overlay, so I don't have the one that I should be using, which is just Rippaverse stuff on my OBS. So I'm gonna get that set up at some point. Don't worry, don't worry. I also need to move in my new stream deck. It's not new actually. It's in my other office, or my actual office, and it's a bigger one, so I'll be able to not have to go through all these damn new scenes and stuff because this stream deck that I have here is very small. But how you guys doing? Hope y'all are doing well. Appreciate y'all joining me. I just wanted to touch base with you guys in the morning before I start getting to work on some other things. Weekends are my days where I get caught up on a lot of stuff. I do videos. I do get some writing in, do some editorial stuff. It's the best days for me to do all that kind of stuff. And I was busy yesterday. We had a lot going on yesterday, actually, but it's that window of time. I also had some other stuff that I was taking care of, but there's this like window of time where, you got to get things done because there's vendors or you got other people that have their own work hours that you're working with on whatever project. So the weekends, we don't have to worry about that because those guys aren't working. So I get to work. Just want to touch base with you guys before I got to going. I appreciate all of y'all showing love. Everybody's been a lot of love shown, man, over the last week or so. Lots of new Rippaverse fans have been seeing new customers come in, getting some eyes on us. So I appreciate y'all, all the newcomers. Welcome. You will find that we have an awesome little fandom here. So I hope you stick around and find books that you like. We have several out right now. ISOM 1, ISOM 2, Alpha Core, and Yaira are officially out. And by the way, as far as those orders are concerned, as far as the campaign, there's only like 300 or so left. Hopefully we get those out. We should be getting those out. There's a little hiccup, but we should be getting those out Monday. The rest of those, and we will have gotten all through all those orders except the CGCs, which should be also shipping out very, very soon as well. So we'll be spending some time with that. Goodyng is right around the corner. Like when I say right around the corner, everybody has to, of course, get used to. This is the Rippaverse. This is the new Rippaverse. The new Rippaverse is moving project to project. It's releasing things for pre-order, while another pre-order is also happening because we are acting as if we are what we are, and that is a legitimate publisher, not just some guys just doing some things every once in a while. No, we also have Rippersend. Everybody's excited for Jay's project, Agamatic Chronicles Green. We got to see that in person, the enthusiasm about that over at the recent meetup, which was a blast, by the way. But we had a box of Agamatic Chronicles Blue, and all of those sold out. All of them are gone. They went quick too. We were only like not even halfway through the day or through the night, excuse me, and those had gone. So yeah, we are working on having some copies for what is that? Denver Fan Expo, which we will be there. So come through. But Denver Fan Expo, we are looking to have some of the actual. I mean, technically, they'd be the first prints of the blue, Agamatic Chronicles Blue. Though that campaign for green, which you're going to be able to get blue, it'll be republishing, will be launching soon enough. So we got Rippaverse stuff. We have Rippersend stuff. We have all sorts of new projects that will be sort of dominating the conversation over the next couple of months. It's going to be a big month for us this month as well as next month. And I think everybody's going to have to get used to it, including us, this sort of rapid fire schedule. And it's not necessarily rapid fire. It's just a normal publishing schedule. I think with us, we were kind of in this unique spot where we were doing campaigns when we launched the company. And that made a lot of sense for us at the time. And when we obliterated our original sales goal with ISOM number 1, and then follow that up with ISOM 2, and that was also a success, and especially with Alpha Core, because that became the non-ISOM project, and that saw the success that it did. And now from that point, it was like, we got to start taking this stuff seriously and really start moving as if we are a publisher, like a legitimate publisher, not just some guys publishing things every now and then. So we got to work, and you guys are going to start. We got to get used to it. The audience is going to get used to it as well, not just with books, but also with random other things that we want to do with merchandise. No longer are those drops going to be saved for a campaign. Now we get to just say, hey, here's a new shirt, here's a new this, here's a new that, and we just release it. And it's exciting. It's very, very exciting. Lots of cool opportunities happening this year, and I can't wait to see you guys at all of our events that we will be appearing at, meeting the fans, having a blast with you like we did at our recent meetup, with Fan Expo being next. But the recent meetup was really, really fun. And can't wait to kind of chat. I love chatting with you guys in person about, your books that you read and what you got from them, what you want to see more of, what you didn't like, all that. Love talking with you all in person about it. So thanks, all of you guys that have been showing all of the love that you have been. We appreciate you so much. I've said that I'm very, very thankful, blessed to be in the position that I'm in. And I take this thing very seriously because I do have the opportunity of a lifetime. And I am aware of that. I made sure that we have, just from a company morale and just general mindset standpoint, that's kind of embedded. Like we understand that this is not normal. This is something that, it's an opportunity. So you got to take advantage of it. And that's why we have moved the way that we have. So thanks, all of you, for the support, all of the love, all the content creators that are out there showing love as well, highlighting our projects. As I mentioned before, with the new Rippaverse website, I'm going to be talking about that here in a little bit. But with the new Rippaverse website that we'll be launching very, very soon. And when I say very soon, I mean very soon. We are trying to come up with these aspects of the website to highlight people that are really enthusiastic about the Rippaverse. We want to make sure we're getting eyes on those content creators that are creating videos, as an example, especially those that are doing the reviews and just general streams about that. We want to make sure that we're not only rewarding you guys, but our audience can see that you are out there as well and getting you some viewership. So with the new Rippaverse website, there's going to be a lot of things baked into it that take into consideration really the community. I mean, that's the point of the Rippaverse website redesign. Though some of it's not going to be live, I would say about a few weeks after the official new website is live, you're going to see really us zeroing in on just creation of the memberships I'm repeating myself here because the memberships we've talked about, that's going to be a big part of our company and like how we funnel information, content, have like a bottom line that will allow us to do cool things such as produce animations, Rippaverse Studios related projects. It's going to be a lot of emphasis on that website stuff. And especially after hearing what's going on with Gilded, it really lit a fire under us. So that's why actually a lot of this stuff isn't going to be live, because we're going to make it a little more robust and a little more intricate for you guys. And a big part of that is just engagement. Making sure we're staying connected. We keep our ear to you guys, as well as the people that, it's very much a word of mouth company, right? So the people that talk about the Rippaverse, we want to make sure we're taking care of you. And we want to make sure if there's any way that we can highlight you and other members of the audience, other members of the fandom can show you some love. We want to make sure that we're doing that for you. So it's going to be baked into a lot of what we do in the future. So let me get you some of these super chats, man, real quick before I talk about like website stuff and all this other good stuff that I want to discuss. All right. Transformers fan becoming a super Mac. I appreciate that. We have Blaze Wright, member with the 26 months. Thank you guys so much. Been a while since I've been. Says, what's up, everyone? Good to see you, Blaze Wright. It has been a minute, man. 26 months, though. That's a long time. We have the Bastards Network with it, too. Says, morning, Eric and Ripper fam. Happy Father's Day. Much love to you. Appreciate you. And, shout out to all the fathers out there. We got Alex with a 12 months. Says, congrats, Ripper. Can't wait for every upcoming book. Gooding's right around the corner. Joey with a 5 says, hey, Eric, Will the Rippaverse have a booth for San Diego MegaCon? Not right now. There is no plans for us to be there right now. And I know we're getting pretty close, but not right now. We haven't had any sort of communication with the Comic-Con teams. I'm just being completely honest with you. I know we had a little bit of a presence there. So, yeah. Alex C with the 5 says, if we get more salvage, will it continue the short story or tell a new story? The artwork and character himself were great. More than likely, if salvage is going to get a long form thing, whether it be a little series or a one shot, whatever it may be, it for sure is going to pick, the first one at least would pick up where it left off. Somewhat, in some way. Maybe it's not told like that, but that in that book will be a continuation of what happened there. So expect that. Bruce with a 5 gifted. Appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, Bruce. Much love to you. Much love, man. Thanks. Yeah, man, I'm hearing a lot of good things about salvage, which brings me to my next point. We are going to have some spoiler talk streams or a stream probably by the middle of this week. Do we do it on Ribbon and Silverback? That makes the most sense. We will see. Maybe we do it with Ribbon and Silverback. We use that time slot. And we're going to talk spoilers finally on, Yaira as well as Salvage, because that came out at the same time. So we love to talk about that. And yeah, I'm really excited for that because, guys, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and warn you. Once Rippersend is fully off the ground, you best believe we are going to be, you're going to hear me talk about these things. If you are an aspiring creator out there, or you've been around the block and you've been an OG, we know that the fulfillment aspect can be a little bit of a headache. We know that there's some complications there. We know that it can be a little tedious, especially if you are in a more smaller independent scene. You're doing a lot of that stuff yourself. And there are a lot of hurdles. Of course, it's easy for me to suggest it, but I'm being dead serious. Maybe you should consider reaching out to Rippersend, because as you guys can see, we move pretty quick. It has not taken us that long. We are almost completely through this campaign. There was over like 13, there's between 10 and 13,000. I can't remember how many of those are CGCs, but between 10 and 13,000 orders since the start of this campaign that have gone out already. And the campaign just ended. I'm just saying, I think we got this thing down, okay? I think we got it down, but also it is an opportunity for you to take advantage of that infrastructure. So, next week, more or less these next couple of months, next month, Rippersend will be off the ground fully. We are going through our initial inquiries when we had that little soft launch. I think you should reach out to us. You're going to get those fulfillment times down. You're going to get the books in the hand of the customers that you want. And also you get to take advantage of, you get to keep more money in your pocket. Because obviously, yeah, we're not doing this as a charity. We're in the business of making money. But on net, you're going to make more money working with us than you do by yourself, if not on shipping alone. Mainly because we have rates that the general guys don't have access to, especially if you're just dropping those bad boys off at the local USPS. Definitely if you're sending internationally, you're going to want to take advantage of the infrastructure that we have, as well as the deals that we have. It's going to keep more money in your pockets if you're running your own campaigns. So maybe you should reach out to us. We help you out. And that's really what Rippersend is about right now. Rippersend is, that's my goal, right? I'm not going to sit here and promise that everybody that we either publish or host campaigns for or any of that is going to just knock it out the park. I don't want people to just anticipate. Some will, but don't anticipate that every campaign or maybe even any of them are just going to be like ISOM 1 level or some shit. That's it. My goal is and the whole point of Rippersend is to elevate, right? Is to take what you have, take it to the next level from all aspects of what you do. And I'm here to make you some more money. I talked to Jay about this extensively. Like, he made 100,000 or so on the first one. I want to make him more than that. I would love to. I'm not guaranteeing that we will, but I want to make him more than 100,000 for his first book. I want it to be a wild success. I want him to make a lot of money. And sure, publishing through us, we're going to get our cut. Obviously, but the goal is not to just simply take a cut of something. The goal is to, okay, if you do this by yourself, you're going to make this much money. You do this with Rippersend, you're going to make more money on net than you would if you did it yourself. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to be, you're going to have happy customers. It's going to be less stressful. I think that's the most important thing, especially for guys that are out there that just want to create. There's so many people that just want to create. And I totally understand that, where people just want to get out there, nose to the grindstone, not trying to deal with a lot of it's not even noise, it's just a requirement. If you are doing business, there is a lot of stuff that needs to get considered, that has to get considered, and oftentimes you don't see that initially. You got to experience. The old saying is, you don't know what you don't know. And we got this thing, we like to think, figured out by now after 4 major campaigns, and not just 4 launched campaigns. I'm talking 4 launched and fulfilled campaigns. We like to think we got this thing figured out. So the goal of Rippersend is we have our own Rippaverse stuff, obviously. And yes, this is a wing of Rippaverse Publishing, but it's not part of the universe. So a lot of this is going to be is creator-owned stuff. Like, we don't own Jay's Achromatic Chronicles Blue. That's his project. That's his IP. We're just publishing it. So the goal is to make him as much money as I realistically can, definitely, because I know there's a lot of friends in this space that have aspirations like that. So like Jay, it was a no-brainer with Jay, and I love that man to death. And I want to make him a lot of money. I want to make him a lot of money. And again, it's just, he's gone through that. He knows the headache that can be fulfillment. And for you guys that just say, I don't want to do that, a better use of my time than sitting there packing books. I got you. Or negotiating with parcel companies or box companies and everything else, trying to find a space. You ain't got to do that. Let us handle that. You just get out there, you create, we'll handle it, we'll take it from there. But the goal is to make you more money than what you did if you did it yourself. And this is why I always say, like, it's not going to be for everybody. Though I do think we can help just about anybody. The Rippersend takes aspects of what happens in a fulfillment or a campaign or anything, and all individually, those different aspects: campaign hosting, fulfillment, just general consulting. So you're trying to figure out how you're going to plan your marketing. We offer those as services individually, right? We offer those for individually. So if there's those that are going to just want us to just straight up publish it, and there are those, for example, that just want us to fulfill it, and that's great. Either way, we do think we can help you out. We, as an example, there are going to be those established guys that have a lot of that stuff under control as far as the marketing, campaign, hosting, all that under control, but they don't want to fulfill it. They just want to say, okay, look, dude, I would rather they can do it, but they'd rather someone else do it. It's going to be a better use of your time, because time is money. That's another thing, man. It's like, hell, I even had to do it myself, right? This is why we have a staff for that matter, as well as a warehouse. Because is my time best suited, though I will go there and pack orders, is my time best suited doing that for a significant amount of time? Or could that time be used to do other things like expanding the business? The same can be said for those individual creators that are out there. And that's why we want to make sure that we're sort of having this this sort of network where they are able to take advantage with what they need. And this is why the Rippersend sort of project that we have here, or company, that wing of our company, is so cool, because just depending on what you need and where you're at, we're going to be able to help people. Not going to make sense for everybody, but a significant amount of people it's going to make sense for. And maybe you need the whole shebang. Maybe you just need the fulfillment. Maybe you just need some hosting. Whatever it is, we got you. I'm really, really excited about that. And I want to give a big shout out to all of y'all out there, because y'all remember it. It's funny watching the old videos of me talking about this. It started off as, yeah, that's not what I'm interested in. Y'all remember that? People would ask me, they send in super chats, and I'd be like, yeah, that's not necessarily something that I'm interested in doing. And I continue to say that, like, yeah, everything Rippaverse, we're doing X, Y, and Z. And more super chats came in. And some of these were coming from other creators. Hey, have you thought about kind of utilizing your, and it will be asked in different ways. Sometimes it was licensing, sometimes like our campaign like stuff. And other times it's like, hey, can you take advantage of things? What do you think about people taking advantage of your infrastructure and maybe because we recognize this as a problem, maybe taking advantage of fulfillment. And we'd be like, and then more questions come in, and I started pondering on it. I was like, yeah, if I did it, it would be this. And then we had a lot of internal discussions, a lot of them. And it was like, okay, we'd be stupid not to do this. We'd be dumb not to do this. So we did it. And I see my man's Drunk 3PO, who we were just talking about. My man's Drunk 3PO is here. He says, the future looks green. I love that. Everybody give a big shout out to Drunk 3PO. Give him a follow as well. Very, very soon, we will be doing a campaign for Akamai Chronicles Green. You will be able to get the republishing of Blue. We got some special things planned for you. It's going to be a fun time. Again, like I said, I want to make this man a lot of money. So be sure to wait for that campaign. Show some love once it gets there. Tell your friends. It's a nice little change of pace on what we drop because this is an all ages book, right? So there's going to be a lot of opportunity there, especially for you guys that have kids. It's a very inspiring story. Shout out to Drunk 3PO. Like I said, love the man to death, man. And we've been obviously talking about the upcoming campaign for him and some things that we're going to do, man. And it's just so exciting. It's so exciting that we're going to be able to, again, with it being our first Rippersend project, that's exciting. But more importantly, at least for me, you know, I've been able to build this friendship with Jay over the last years, man. And he's just a very good man and deserves all the goodwill, good stuff that's going to happen to him. And yeah, we're gonna be working extremely hard on that project, man. So big shout out to my man's Drunk 3PO. Be sure to show him love, show the project love once we get it launched, and we will keep you posted because that's gonna be right around the corner, man. Right around the corner. So thank you guys so much. Shout out Drunk 3PO, man. Big shout out. Oh, man. Golly, man. The future looks bright. Future looks bright. And, yeah, man. It's exciting. All right, Bruce, I got you. Joe with the 4 months says, can't wait for the spoiler stream. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Bino Co with a 5. Did you get a chance to talk to Todd McFarlane? I can only imagine the conversation. Briefly. A lot, obviously, just with anything that McFarlane Toys does, he has to sign off. I don't know if people know that. But everything, even there's a lot of toys that are obviously getting put out by them, licensed projects as well. So other company stuff. McFarlane still has his hands on everything. Like, so before something goes off and gets manufactured, he has to still green light it. It has to have his stamp of approval. And look, big shout out to McFarlane Toys. They run the man has some awesome people working there. Let's just say that. But yeah, this is the first of many. We got Raw with a 5 says, are the recipes in the Rippersend July family recipes? Not necessarily. But recipes nonetheless. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure with a 50 says, rank it up, Rippaverse dub, the house always wins, says Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. I know that's a Kino reference. A big shout out to those brothers. as well. They've been showing a lot of love, and I appreciate them. So shout out as well as Andy Worski, man. Shout out to those brothers. They I don't know if you guys know, but that show of theirs has exploded. I mean, last night they had Mudhar on not too long ago. Last night they had, they had like 3,200 people like watching them stream. That show's exploded, man. So big shout out to those brothers, man, and what they're doing. It's crazy how much that show's grown for them, man. So big shout out to them. We have a 5 from Scott McKenzie. Says, thank you to you and your fam and team. Great Dallas meetup, and appreciate the hope and encouragement you do on your streams and social media. Stay the course. Scott McKenzie, you got it, brother. And I appreciate that 12 months as well, being a Lil Mac. Thank you. Yeah, it's stay the course is obvious. I mean, look, dudes, I said it in my my little statement video that we put out. It's a lot of folks can't get used to the professionalism, and I mean, it's not really an option for them. It's not a choice. They're gonna have to. But yeah, staying the course is important. I mean, I've worked my tail off to build this company. I've worked my tail off to build the brand. I've worked my tail off to just get to where I'm at today. And it would be very foolish, stupid even, to try to throw it away just doing things that are totally unnecessary and ill-advised, for lack of better terms. So staying the course, being focused is a no-brainer. It's not really an option. It's what I have to do. It's my responsibility. The Rippaverse, it's a company that is a well-oiled machine. But everybody here knows that being the leader here, it's a lot of that trajectory is going to be determined by how I move, for lack of better terms. And yeah, it's got to be like that. So I have to take it serious, not just for myself, for the sake of the company, which means the livelihoods of those that are working for the company, and really, I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. It's kind of hard it was initially to conceptualize that, right? You think definitely when you move with a lot of independence like I have, you don't necessarily understand like how many people depend on how you move. That was a crazy thing, and it was a harsh reality because it makes me have to be more responsible. And I'm not going to pretend like I always operated like that. I know that, yeah, I got my own family to worry about, and I know that I may have a couple of people that were working for me. Definitely over the years, I had video editors and such. So you understand it, but with the Rippaverse, you really understand it because you get to see the layers of it, right? You get to see not just the people on the back office side of things, right? And you get to know them, you get to learn about them. We almost 2 years under our belt here at the Rippaverse, as far as you guys knowing about it. It's been around longer than that because of the stuff that we were doing for ISOM before we launched, right? So you had people that had been around, like Caros of the world, that were already here. But we launch and I have to get all these other people involved, and you really start to see them and how their lives have changed over the last couple of years as well. And it just really puts things into perspective, dude. And I'm not going to say that was part of my growth as well. It's like, dude, you're no longer just moving for yourself and your family. You have people that depend on how successful, right, this company is, or not, for that matter. And I don't know, man. It was really a come to Jesus moment for me. You know, it's like, dude, you got to take that into consideration. So that's what I do. And it's still, I'm always learning, right? I'm always trying to become definitely a better professional for sure. But it's why, to your point, Scott, staying the course is so vital, so important, and why making sure that my presence, no matter where I'm at and what I'm doing, is taken into consideration the lives and the livelihood, of the people that work for the company. And like I was talking about with the layers, you got the back office folks that you guys maybe the see are a little more front facing, but then you have the guys that you don't see all the time. Like you may see them in like a video or some of the people that work at the warehouse, right? That really make this thing go round. They depend on this. So that's something that I've taken heart and I take very seriously. And I get that it's not necessarily as attractive for people that would much rather have me be a unprofessional, gullible person. And I'm not going to dive into the, obviously people know what's going on with my previous video. And I'm not going to dive into that much because I don't have much to add outside of the video, right? This is why I said that's the public statement. There's not going to be much I'm going to say outside of that. But it was interesting seeing over that. And I saw Rippaverse Gold post and some other people brought this up as well, where they're like, what these guys wanted from Eric was an escalation. And they're mad that they didn't get it. And that's very, very true. And obviously, obvious. You're not going to get that. And it's funny, like the whole, I don't know, man, it is very childish. And maybe that would have worked when I was 16 years old. But this whole like, well, you're not no thug. You're not a gangster. No, I'm not. You got me there. Congratulations. No, I'm not. And I don't handle things like much. Maybe that's how you'd want me to handle it. And that'd be great for internet videos and drama and for me to risk everything and put myself in jail or risk going to prison, losing this business. Therefore, again, failing the people that work for me, my customers, and everything else. You're correct. I am not any of that. I'm a regular individual that is becoming a better professional day in, day out. And that's how I move. And that's how I will move. And as I've said before, this is my preference, right? Everything still applies. As far as me welcoming people that if you are, and oftentimes it may be off of misunderstanding, but if you are one of those people that have some things that you want to discuss, I am wide open about that. If you want to maybe go to a fan expo, if you want to go to a meetup, obviously you got to remain respectful. You got to remain cordial. That's sort of the point. But I would love to meet you and look you in the eyes and talk with you, whether you're a fan or not. And for the people that aren't, I think that will be important even for you to kind of see how we operate. You see how we are probably not the guys that you want us to be. And that not only applies to myself and the members of the company, but also the fans. And perhaps you'll come out that like, oh, these guys ain't so bad. I mean, we've had people that have done that. Like, hey, man, I came around. I got introduced to you by a friend or whatever. I'm not going to lie. I was on the fence. But, man, after spending some time with you guys, you're cool. You're cool. We like you. I'm going to buy some comics. Like, that's a preferable scenario where you can come out of this having to really got to know people outside of what people maybe want you to believe. So, yeah, by all means, if you are remaining respectful and remaining cordial, come to an event, man. Come say what's up. Holla at us. Just do it right. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing. Now, don't get me wrong. As you know, if those just base requirements, just being a decent human being, aren't met, well, you got to understand there's going to be nobody owes you a conversation with stuff like that. However, if you are remaining respectful, you are remaining cordial, and you are doing things the right way, you can meet everybody at the meetups, and it's oftentimes not just the Rippaverse. Obviously, it's other people as well. So you get to meet Gary, you get to meet a lot of people in our corner of the internet, and find out who these individuals are. And you will find, which is a common theme that we get from people, is that, man, you guys are genuine, authentic people, and that's what it's about. So come meet us, come holler at us, pull up to one of the events, and get to know people. It is very easy to be, falling into this whole divisive nonsense and narratives that people want to be true so bad about folks. And I encourage you to look them in the eye and actually talk with them, and maybe you'll find that they're not that bad. And everybody can do better there, including myself. So Dan with a 21 months says, hell, Ripper, appreciate that. Dan, we got West Britannicus. Where did that go? It moved up on me. There it is. With a 2 says, I hardly see your streams, but I'm still supporting. Hey, it's all good, man. Big Johnny with a 20 says, we need y'all body pillow cover. Okay. Psychotic Mongoose with a gifted sub. Appreciate that. Thank you. We have Mexican Iron Man with a 27 months. Says, just uploaded my Yaira unboxing video on YouTube, and everything arrived fast, professional, and looks great. Love to hear that. And a big shout out to my man's Mexican Iron Man. Big shout out to you, brother. Thank you for all you do, and great job. Shout out to you, Mexican Iron Man. Joel Rican with a 10 says, I gave my 11-year-old niece her first comic. It was Yaira #1. When she opened it, she looked at her mom, said, wow, looks so good. Hell, the Ripperverse, and thank you, Eric. God bless you. Well, shout out to you, Joel. Appreciate that. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying Yaira. Some people are calling it their favorite. I love it. We love to see it. Transformers fan with a 5 says, this and Image Transformers have been the most excited I've been in comics. Excited for Goodyng. My man, says, you definitely got the touch. Get it? I do. Transformers fan, shout out to you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I've talked about this before. Anything that, look, as this grows, publications increasing, more books are dropping, more other cool things. We got Rippaverse Studios as well. People are making the Rippaverse their go-to form of entertainment, and I love it. I love it. Black Blazer with a 37 months says, stay focused and live your best life. Appreciate that. Shout out to you. Barbecue Pits with a 20 says, you've turned me into a collector, and I'm proud of it, fam. Your comics go up in value, so these are both entertainment and investments. The evidence is on eBay. Do you think that statue I just bought will appreciate? Barbecue Pits, I appreciate. I don't know. It more than likely will, but I can't say for sure. I try to mix a little bit of both considerations. I get it. There's collectors out there, but ultimately, we do sell for the people and their enjoyment of whatever we put out. As far as the Yaira statue, I think it obviously has a lot of things going for it. Number one being it's Yaira. Number two, it's McFarlane Toys. And number three, which is arguably the most important part, you only get one chance at it being the first version of this thing, right? So that will officially be the first ever. It'll always be that. It'll be the first ever Rippaverse statue. So, yeah. Big shout out to you for the 20. The Killer Spotlight with a 5 says, hope you guys can do a meetup in UK in the very near future. Had to buy Yaira a second time, and I was already got a graded one. I love to hear that. Graded ones will be arriving very, very soon. My man, Andy Masterson with a 2. Says, this is exciting to watch. Shout out to Andy Masterson. I said before, got to speak with him in person. He did that little Eric July action figure there. So he's I talked with him about some stuff, some cool stuff, and I'd love to get him involved if we could. So big shout out to Andy Masterson. We got a 5 from CJ says, like I said to you in the event, these guys accuse you of evil things, but the things some of them have been exposed of doing is actually disgusting. Yeah, it is unfortunate. I get it. Like, there's some skeletons and demons that are being kind of uncovered from some of these people who have made me out to be their enemy, which I still don't understand. It's kind of bizarre that you get newbies that, and everybody asks the same questions. Like, number one, what did he do to make these guys this mad? And then when they do discover like what's happening, like with Medicare and all those guys, they're like, even if you accepted what they said, though a lot of it's not true, even if you accepted what they said at face value, it's still not worth, or it does not require the reaction that some of these guys have given. But yeah, it does create this sort of Streisand effect, because even I've learned about some of these guys and their demons. And it's like, man, that's crazy, man. And you can only pray for folks like that, man. That's really it. Vagabundo Devon, there he is. My man's with 53 months says, hell, bro, had a blast at the Texas meetup. You know, I love to see you there. Got to see you were in Florida. Now we got to see you out here, man. Love to show you love, man. You've been here for a very long time, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Much love to you. Brockers with a 2 says, tank tops, booty shorts, and hat. Let's do this. My man's 32 Flavors of Nick Wise, a shout out. Love to hang out with him. Says, maybe a hot take, but I dig the Ripper the Professional. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's going to take some getting used to, guys. I totally get that for some. Definitely because I used to, be in the trenches, if you will. When I was YouTubing was a big, significant part of my content. Well, now it's not. And I, again, have a business to run. And it's a very successful business, and I like to keep it that way. And therefore, doing so it requires me to be a professional, especially if I'm going to grow the company. It requires me to be a better professional. And not everybody's going to like that. It's just going to take some getting used to for a lot of folks, and it's a requirement. Everybody's got to get used to it because it's not going to change. As far as me getting more professional, yeah. But those days are gone, man. Those days of me being in the trenches and doing that goofy stuff, it's not really professional. It does not benefit my company. It does not grow my company. It does not ensure that I'm going to get more fans or anything. All it does is hurt, if anything. So a more professional me was required, and I appreciate those kind words, Nick Weiser, because not everybody likes that. They would much prefer me to be a unprofessional person and lose everything that I've built here. And I think for some people, I don't think it's a secret, actually, that some people would prefer that, not because they would love to see me be more unprofessional for the sake of their entertainment, but they know, and they're at least smart enough to know that if I am very unprofessional, I risk losing everything. And for some people, they'd love to see that, would they not? A barbecue pitch with a 20 says a lot of people get mad when you grow up. 1 Corinthians 13:11 says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. There has been a lot of growth, for sure, for me. I am not the same. I'm a more wise man than I was in my 20s, for sure, and especially as a teenager, older teenager. And that's what life is about, right? It is about growth at the end of the day. If you're doing things that are detrimental, the point isn't to keep doing those detrimental things. There's nobody locking you in there. And if there are people that are trying to lock you into doing things that are detrimental to your life, detrimental to the people around you, maybe you shouldn't be around them. But because growth is a requirement as a human being, and becoming a better version of yourself It's something that I always work hard to strive for. And I know that I can always improve. I know I can always be better there. And that's what I am going to do. And I think any rational person would operate like that. Lord Pepsi with a 5 says, you say a lot and say nothing. That's fine. If what I say blows over your head, then that's cool with me. Hopefully you get the clarity that you get on my statements. But yeah, so going to Goodyng, we have that dropping very, very soon. With Goodyng, it does look like we are going to be launching the new website as well alongside it. Now, this new website is a new, fresh, advanced, legitimate website. You know, we built Rippaverse.com initially in mind that it was going to be a okay thing that we did. It wasn't going to be a multi-million-dollar success. And then it was a multi-million-dollar success. And then we had another one. And then we had another one and another one. And at that point, it's like, hey, this is legitimate. Maybe you should build your site as if it is going to be housing a lot of books, as if it's going to be optimized for e-commerce, as if it's going to be a place where your fans are always going, your customers are always going to find out what the latest thing is, what's happening with the Rippaverse, what's upcoming as well, and making sure that interactivity is there. Fandom is an important, if not vital, part of nerd geek culture. And accommodating those people is perhaps more important. And that's what we did. That was the perspective as we built this website. So there's going to be a overhaul. It's not like adding new functionality to it, though there is going to be some new functionality. That's not what the Rippaverse, new Rippaverse.com is. The new Rippaverse.com is signifying this, or it's a new era. And it's a complete overhaul. It is nothing like the site that is there right now. There are some features that have carried over, but it is a completely different site and it looks amazing. So Goodyng will be released alongside it. Not everything will be there at go live. Most of it is. If I have to put a percentage of the functionality stuff that we want there, I would say 80 to 85% of it will be ready at go live, and then we're going to make sure that goes smooth, and then we're going to add some new functionalities specifically to the memberships. That functionality will come at a later date, but it won't be too far after. Our development team is moving very quick. They're already getting the ball rolling on some of the things that we want, so there will be a membership overhaul at some point as well, but we're not going to do that initially. Let's just start with the website. And make sure that goes smooth, and we'll see what happens. So, it'll be a one-stop shop, man. You got to be able to get there, get some more information on the books. It looks better. It's sleek. It's clean, and that's going to be a place where we funnel stuff. Bottom line. See, talking about this last stream. Was it for Kenne's sake? It might have been for Kenne's sake on Monday. And speaking of McFarlane. I see how McFarlane moves. A lot to learn from that. And I don't know if you guys have paid attention to his social media. And this is where I'd love to be at. I talked with Jay about this as well on a side note. But McFarlane, if you follow him on social media, everything that McFarlane basically posts about is something with regards to a company that he is playing a significant role in. Whether it be McFarlane Toys or Image, pretty much every one of his posts are about that. And I'm like, boy, that's where I would love to be. Does that mean scaling back on some of the things that we've done? Yeah. And I think there's other appropriate places to talk about things, because I get it. People like to see my perspective, especially on the political landscape. There's appropriate places to do that. We have I obviously contribute to Blaze, so I'll go on the news and why it matters. I'm going on all the, so that stuff is still going to be there. We're still going to do our streams with other people. But I think that's going to be more or less how my future is as well. I mean, I would love to be as successful as what McFarlane has built. But I'm more so speaking to, when you see me, I'm going to be talking about something with the Rippaverse. Something. Or, and by Rippaverse, I'm saying by extension, Rippersend. And that's going to be a great, great thing. It's going to be a fun time. I'm going to wake up talking about things that make me happy. It's going to be a fun time. But the website is going to be a big part of that. That's why I brought that up, because it's going to be a place to funnel a lot of our content. A lot of it. So, can't wait for you guys to see it. Steven with a, wait a minute. I'll get to that in a minute. No, it's right there. Steven says, with a 5, what up, Black Stanley, Black Walt Disney? Shout out West Texas, says Stephen De Leon with a 5. Thank you so much. We got Stephen De Leon with a 5 as well. It says, my favorite part of Ice is when Rey Skywalker fought the Legion of Doom for WWF Heavyweight Belt. Yeah, it was good time. Appreciate that 10 total from Steven. My man Scottish Ranger with a gifted 5. Thank you so much again. Jesus Davia with a gifted 10. Woo! Hella subs today, by the way. Or memberships. We got Great Hair Danny Liberal with a 10 month. Says Green for the win. I'm biased. Just a little bit. I respect it though. Says, I'm so excited for Jay's next book, and it's great to see that you're doing it through Rippersend. Says, keep up the amazing work, Ripper. You got it. Will do. And yes, Agamatic Chronicles Green is going to be massive, and we're excited for it. Woo! We have GW with a 30. I'm not sure that currency. Says, hey, Eric, I'm a day one fan. I got my A, B, and D covers with the magazine, and I got surprise cover C. Says, don't fire anybody. So so you got a C and you weren't supposed to get it. So if your guys are looking for a missing cover C, it's here, says GW. Okay. I will take that into consideration. Appreciate that honesty, though. Thank you. We have a Sheep with a 39 months, says, I'm bringing local chocolate to Denver. That's it. Okay, there you go. Jay still in the chat, Drunk 3PO, a.k.a. says, you're going to love it. You are going to love Green. You're going to love it. So, yeah, got to be some cool things happening. We got Rippersend. We're going to launch a new website. We got Rippersend dropping soon as well. And then after Rippersend, we're going to move into, well, not after Rippersend. It's just going to be a lot of projects and stuff, cool stuff that we're doing on Rippersend. But, yeah, seeing people make Rippaverse their go-to form of entertainment, it is more or less about putting out content. That's why we have so many different teams operating right now. And we have, by teams, I'm talking about like from the art and writing perspective. Chuck and Joe's doing their thing with their books that they're doing. You got the Saskas and Deborah and Saskas with their Blood Ruth book, Michael's handling, our fan art contest winner. Myself, Cliff, myself, Bart Sears. So everybody is working as a team to get you guys more books, because at the end of the day, we got to get that to you. We have to give you things to talk about. We have to give you a universe that you're getting lost in. So we're going to keep grinding, man. So it's a Goodyng, Horseman, Blood Ruth. Yes, exactly. Growing number of books that are dropping, not just in titles, but just books in general. So people are also going to gravitate towards what they like, but they're also going to be those Rippaverse fans that are into everything. And those are the ones that we appreciate so much, which they're like, look, just give me something to be entertained by, and I'm going to get it. It's kind of like what I was with some of the other major publishers. So it's cool to see. Would have never thought that I would be in this position like this, man, and this is why I don't take it for granted. My man's Robbie with a 2 said, yeah. And by the way, that is Robbie, the drummer of Backwards. For you guys that don't know, that's who Robbie Rosales is. He is the drummer, the jack drummer that you guys always see drumming his ass off in Backwards music videos and shows. That's who that is. Big shout out to my man's Robbie. Much love to you. Hope you're doing well. He is we have two Rippaverse Infinity Gems that I have not collected yet. Or Backwards Infinity Gems that I have not collected yet for the Rippaverse. Robbie's one of them. So, guys that don't know, myself, obviously Alex and Brian, our video editor, one of our video editors. We're all part of the band. So there's 2 other band members. Robbie's one of them, and Kevin, of course, our lead guitarist, are the 2 guys that don't work for the Rippaverse yet. So once I have hired them to do something, I will have now collected the backwards infinity gems for the gauntlet, the backwards gauntlet, and I don't know, maybe we form mega powers there. So he's one of the 2. He's one of the 2 that I got to get. So shout out Robbie, man. Much love, man. Hope you're doing well, bro. Got to catch up. Banak with a 20 says, I love Yaira #1. Looking forward to #2. Are you going to New Orleans for Comic-Con? If you are going, I'll go too. I've not got any words on any other cons that we're doing this year yet. Again, Denver Fan Expo being the next big one, and we'll see after that. Appreciate that 20, by the way. We want to get out there. We want to do more cons. We want to do more events for you. So a lot of y'all travel, man. For a while, we appreciate y'all. That's why it's important for us to do more of these so we can get something that's near you and you can come out and show some love. Michael with a 5 says, FedEx just delivered. Look at all these $20 donations, by the way. FedEx just delivered Yaira. Woo! Love to hear that, man. Hell yeah. Shout out to you. Hope you enjoy. Pretty sure you will. I Drive Pro with a 20 says, it has been a hot minute, man. It has been a minute since we've seen you. He says, I'm just wanting to say thank you for bringing me back to comics. I'm Rippaverse for life. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love to you for being here and being a customer. Jose with a 5 says, enjoyed Chuck Dixon's Alpha Course so much I went back to find and read his Nightwing, Batman, Green Arrow. He knows how to tell a story. Thank you. He is really good at what he does. Really, really good. Really, really good. Shout out. Yeah. So yeah, Chuck is working on some other things. You know, we got Horseman by him and Joe Bennett, but there's another project him and Joe Bennett have also done as well that they're working on. Fabio's on that project as well. Fabio's the inker of that project. He's on that project as well. So shout out to him. We gotta show him love. So all of those guys are going to, they have another project that we have not announced that is awesome. That is being inked, penciled and ink right now. They're pretty far along. So we got Horseman, though, right after Goodyng, man. It's going to be a massive year. Evie Variety says, have you heard the critiques of Yaira #1's dialogue being repetitive? The villains say this is the end of the line twice in one scene, for example. Appreciate that feedback. Thank you. We have Night Ronin with a no, it's not. He's responding. My bad. I thought that was a super chat. He's responding to Jose says he's a legend. Thank you. We have Carl Lee with a 10 says, live in Dallas. Hope one day I'll be able to support you guys in a more physical sense. Well, you come to one of the meetups in Dallas. We love that. Come on through, pull up. Thank you. Appreciate you. Obviously, we are based out of the DFW, so those events are always cool. We want to do more of those. It's easier to do. Man, lots of stuff cooking right now. What else? So we got Horseman, obviously Goodyng first. Horseman, Ice on 3, Blood Ruth. Not saying that's the order that they're going to drop. We got 2 other unannounced projects as well. There's going to be some Rippersends that are dropping in between those. Just all sorts of shit happening, man. Ronan the Crusader, what's up, bro? What a 20s, it's been a while. Since I sent one of these, intercepted my order of Yaira last week, one of the perks of working for FedEx. Said I deliver it to myself. He says, and since I got some time off, I'm going to catch up on some reading, including Yaira. Shout out to you, Ripper. Hey, Ronan the Crusader. You know, love to see you. Got to meet you out in Orlando. Much love, man. Shout out. Love to see you, homie. Love to see it. Ivy Variety says, dang, not even a discussion. I don't know if that's a bait, but we're taking the feedback. I heard your criticism. We're taking the feedback. I'm not sure what exactly you would like me to do out of that. We heard it. I'll look into it. That's because even if I do give feedback, it's going to be what you know what's going to happen, right? It's going to be, or I take the feedback and I try to make a conversation out of it. It's going to be, well, he can't take criticism. I'm taking it. I'll look into it, and that's all I can really say about it. Ronan Crusader, I appreciate that 20. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we have those projects. We have a Rippersend project. There's another story that I wrote in the Rippersend. I've brought this up. The story in the Rippersend for the Rippersend 2, I wrote around the same time I did the story with Bart Sears for Salvage. It was more of a race. It's like whoever gets finished first is kind of how it happened. So I can't wait for you guys to learn about this story. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to love it. And yeah, really, really excited. Really, really excited. Really, really excited. Now drop a date for Goodyng. Not yet. When I say Goodyng is right around the corner, it's like about to happen. So just hold on. Night Runner with a 10 says, Salvage is fire. Great job. I'm glad you love it. Yeah, Salvage was fun. Character I'd been kicking around in my head for a little bit there. And it's just it's off-brand kind of character, at least for the Rippaverse so far. And it's difficult to know how people are going to feel about that. And we wanted to make sure we package that in a safe way. And I think the Rippersend is going to be instrumental. It's cheap option. People to get caught up, people to get previews of upcoming books. Books that maybe have recently released. So yeah, it was cool. It was a fun character, again, I've been kicking around. And we'll talk about him more once we do the spoiler talk stuff. I'm glad people liked it. There's a lot of people that enjoy it. We'll get some more formal like reviews and stuff from you guys to really see what their enthusiasm is. But Bart Sears, as I mentioned, is ready to do like something longer form. He's ready. He loved working on the project. We love having him. You know, we love having him. It was fun. And again, idea I've been kicking around for a while. Just didn't know how that was going to land. That's with anything. You know, you get those. I'm not going to say every character's a slam dunk. That's impossible. There's going to be things that land, some that don't. But the ones that you're like, you really don't know. I think the Rippersend is going to be just a perfect place to funnel these characters and their stories to see what does the audience think. Is it worth investing so much money? Because it does cost a lot of money to do something that's going to be in a longer format. And obviously the world building aspect of it, the character building, is it worth like doing all that? We'll see. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure with a 5 said, I will admit I had no interest for Salvage when I announced. Now that I read the preview, give Bart Sears a full Salvage book. Did I just read that? No, that's after Night Ronin. Excuse me. Yeah, he's down. Bart Sears is down. He's game. So I loved working with Bart. Legend. He's been around for a while. He's a absolute professional. Had a lot of fun working with him, and yeah, I love kind of the style of artwork that we did for that book, or that he did for that book. Seems to work out. He knows what he's doing, though. He's an absolute professional, man. Old school. So, yeah, he says he's down. We get that feedback. If you guys are like, Salvage needs something now, cool. I'll get it going. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So thank you for that feedback, Garfield's Bizarre Adventure, as well as Night Ronin. So yeah, we have Horseman as well. I just have a feeling that, oh man, this character of Horseman is gonna become a lot of people's favorite character. Let's just say that. I think a lot of people are gonna love Horseman. I'm interested to see how that feedback is once the book launches and you actually get to learn about him. But I think a lot of people are gonna love that book, man. I like the character, which so much that opens up from that, man. So many cool things we can do for that character, man. The first character as well that gets his own title that I did not create. I think that's important, that this was an idea. Yeah, it is. There are elements around the character that obviously are bits and pieces of what I created, but I didn't create the character. This was very much something that Joe and Chuck pitched to me. And I just said, hell yeah, I'm down. I'm in. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited for it. Excited for y'all to read it. It's going to be great. We have David with a 10 says, still upset. Salvage was only 13 pages, but I'm really damn excited to see some of these unpowered main characters like Salvage, Goodyng, and Horseman navigate the Rippaverse. Salvage was so good. Seen some people go as far as to say it's the best that they've seen from me, which is pretty cool. Hey, man, if y'all like Salvage, I love it. I love it. If y'all like it, I love it. So we'll see. We'll get some more formal feedback. So be on the lookout for your emails. We're going to be sending polls out and stuff. And yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to ask about Goodyng again. That's going to be dropping very soon. Like when I say very soon, remember I said this about Yaira and then it just dropped on y'all. It's going to be very soon. We're moving, bro. Like Yaira got fulfilled. Let's talk like Yaira. We're going to do our spoiler talk stream. And, you know, acting as a legitimate publisher means that more books are coming out more often. So we're moving on. And then it's going to get to the point, which is going to be really exciting. I would love to get to the point where it's like we're going to have shit dropping on the same day. You know, it's going to be fun. Jose with a 5 says, hey, Eric, more characters get their solo titles. Would you plan a crossover event in the future? Hopefully not 40 tie-ins like Marvel and DC. Well, look, I'm not against the... Yeah, that's a cool part of comics is the crossovers. How we're doing it, though, is... Yeah, there'll eventually be some crossovers, but we also have a lot of work to do, man. Like... You're talking like, what was the first major crossover? Like, was probably Crisis, right? So you had from DC, what, 40 years before they did that? And yeah, there had been some changes. Not to say that you didn't see a character hop up in another book, but that was the first like major crossover, right? So for us, we like have to flesh out the characters individually, make sure the stakes are where we need them to be. And we have a universe to build before we get there. Yes, you will see characters be in other people's titles. You already saw it with ISOM. You've seen it in Yaira. Alpha Core plays a very major role in Yaira. So you saw it with Alpha Core, right? Mick Davies, he makes a big appearance in that book. He was first seen in ISOM. So there's so much that we can do, but we want to flesh out the characters individually first. Give us some time before, because if there is going to be a crossover, any crossover for that matter in the future, I want it to matter. I want it to be epic. I want it to be cool. But I don't feel like we need to do that yet. And I saw some post that went around probably like half a year ago. People like, you need to do this. I don't think it was like a legitimate fan or anything. I think it was like a concern troll. It's like, you need to do a major crossover to save your company. And I'm like, thanks for the feedback, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that it makes a lot more sense for us to flesh the characters out individually. Make a character show up every now and then, right? They can even team up every now and then. But to do like an actual crossover, that's going to take some time. And I think we have a long way. That's the fun thing. Is that not exciting? That's exciting that, bros, we aren't even 2 years in yet. We will officially hit our 2 year in like a little under a month, like basically a month from today. Give or take a few days. We will have given you a 2 years worth of work. We're just getting started, bros. We are just getting started. There's a lot that you have to learn about these characters. It is going to be more of a slower burn, and I get it. There have been people they're not fans of that. A lot of them are the creators, and that's their opinion of how we handle things. I am perfectly fine with that. Here, the universe is as big a part of this as anything that we do. The universe is what the Rippaverse is built off. You kind of get we'll give you a little hint in the name that it's not just about one character. It's not just about one story. It's not just about any of that. It's not just about giving you something to move on to the next thing. It's about trying to create a world where people are invested in what's happening. I want you guys to nerd out, man. I want you to nerd out. I want those minor details to be major details for the general fan that we are trying to appeal to. Yes, will there be people that are like, I just want to keep up with one character. I want to keep up with that story. Absolutely. But generally speaking, we take in consideration, this is why everybody's on the same page. This is why there's been a lot of, and I want to give a big shout out to the Saskas. I also want to give a big shout out to Chuck. I saw someone tweet me this not too long ago. Maybe it was yesterday. And they were talking about how they loved that the Saskas, like a character like Brian, felt like the same damn character that he felt like in Alpha Core. Because Brian does play a pretty vital role. But he's Brian, right? He's Brian Solari. So that happens because everybody's on the same page. And everybody's paying attention to details. That's also writers. We're not writing this story or writing a story with, hey, I'm trying to tell the most epic. Because remember, that was what happened in ISOM 1. You had some that were more interested in, hey, just write a story that's epic. So they're like, you should kill off, that whole bit happened with ISOM, and Darren Fontano should have killed off the niece. And then we're like, wait a minute, man, it's the first book. That's because that's how some other people would do how they do their business. What we're building is a universe. So the stakes need to be built. It's going to be more of a slower burn, right? And maybe it does take several years for us to get to where a crossover makes sense. Nothing wrong with that. That's the general type of fan that we're trying to appeal to. It's the guy that says, this is my go-to form of entertainment. I am going to nerd out about this stuff. What's going to happen next? I want to do my theories. I want to talk with the other members of the fandom about why this makes sense, why this doesn't make sense. That's what we're building the universe for. That's what we're building the company around. So it's going to be more of a slower burn. We're not trying to end the universe. We have not entered into some intergalactic world breaking. Here's Galactus. Here's a character that's going to shatter the earth. Now we're post-apocalyptic. We're not. No. Like, let's just build the universe from the ground up. Ensure that you know these characters. Ensure you get invested in these characters. And I want you to care about their. That's why everything's not an information dump, right? Because I want you to really genuinely care about the stories. I want you to care about the universe, probably most importantly. That's how we do things here. Arnold, squash a nigga. That's his name. I didn't just mispronounce that. Says what Australian 3 says, the last time something dropped as hard, Japan surrendered. Damn. Epic. We have Barbecue Pits with a 5. So are we getting to the point to where we'll be purchasing a book on a bi-monthly basis? We're getting close. And maybe it's not a title, but maybe it's a like a magazine in there. You know? Maybe there's a magazine. So we are really getting to the point to where it's books coming out like pretty frequently. Remember I said my goal, I want to get to where we're not there yet. It may take a little bit, but we're getting there faster than maybe I anticipated. A book a month. A book a month. A book a month. Emil with a 2 said, just got mine. Dope. Keep killing it. You got it. IJ with a Super Mac. Appreciate that. And my wife is in the chat with a $2, which is our $2 because marriage. So she just gave me $2 that. Yeah. She says you're cute. Thanks, babe. I appreciate you. Shout out to my wife. Keeps me sane, that's for sure. You guys, some of you got to meet her at the meetup here. She's an amazing woman. She's an amazing woman. What can I say? What can I say? Other than that, she's the best. The Wicked Plumber would have gifted 10. Appreciate that. That ain't cheap. And then they gifted 5 there. That's 15. 15 gifted memberships from the Wicked Plumber. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. 15 gifted. Big shout out to the Wicked Plumber. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a family affair at the meetup because obviously my wife was there helping run the table and my niece. So we had the whole Ripper family. Well, not the whole Ripper family, but Ripper family was representing. Representing. Per usual. Congrats on not getting arrested and possibly pepper sprayed at the meeting. Thank you. I can confirm that I was not arrested or pepper sprayed at the meetup, so thank you. Okay. What else? There was something else I wanted to bring up. I'm losing it. Brought up Goodyng on the way. We talked about the website. Yeah, so the final edition size for the Rippaverse statue will be announced, I think we have to the end of next month. Yeah, we'll know how many are going to be manufactured. Something like that. Talk about Bloodruth. Bloodruth is coming out insane, bros. Holy shit. I don't know what else to say. Bloodruth is coming out insane, bros. So we got Bloodruth, we got, man, look at all those books. Think about that. Let's count them. Goodyng, Horseman. We got Rippersend number 2 for sure dropping very soon. ISOM 3. Bloodruth. And then we got 2 unannounced projects that are at least, I think between the both of them, they're almost 50 pages in at least. That's 7 books. I mean, 8 if you include. 8 if you include Yaira too. Woo! I'm moving, bros. We are moving. So yeah. Wasn't aware of a Saturday show. Yeah, I just kind of just did. I was like, I'm going to touch base with y'all. Allergies off the chain right now. Man, I'm excited. I am so stoked on the future for this damn company, man. We got Rippeverse Studios has some things cooking as well. And yes, there will be some people asked about this yesterday. There will be a trailer still for what kind of trailer you'll have to see, but there will be some sort of thing that we're going to release for Goodyng. So yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people, to Courage the Dog's point, there's a lot of people. I mean, I guess that's the positive that's happened. I mean, would it be called the Streisand effect? I mean, because we're not necessarily trying to keep the Ripperverse away from, like, seeing this is here. But with recent events, there's been a lot of new people that have eyes on the Ripperverse now that are becoming customers. And that's awesome. If nothing else. And I think that's the importance of moving, like, professionally, man. Like, I see the comments. There's guys that see what I go through and what I experience, and they're like, man, is that what I have to look forward to if I see success as a creator? I can tell you this much. I'm probably the worst that it's going to be. So at least know that much. You're not going, there's a lot of different moving parts, a lot of working parts right here. Me getting in the position that I got in and seeing the initial success that we got, it started making people feel a certain kind of way. So it's a little different dynamic, and most people aren't going to experience what I'm going to experience. But if nothing else, if you learn from kind of what I've experienced, is the importance of maintaining professionalism and taking your job seriously, getting better at professionalism in my case, because what happens is if there is some external nonsensical stuff that happens, then people discover you, right? And a lot of folks are curious. Yes, there's going to be those that run with narratives no matter how falsified they may be. But then you're going to get the curious person. They're like, okay, a lot of people are talking. What is this? And then they look at it and they're like, this seems intriguing. Oh, this guy isn't so bad, or this isn't so bad. This is something that I would love to get into. That's been the positive of what's happened over the last week. The positive is that we've got a lot of new eyes, a lot of new customers that have come in, a lot of new supporters of the Rippaverse, a lot of new buyers of various books that we put out. And I'm very thankful for you guys. I appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoy your purchase, and stick around. Stick around. Thank you guys so much. It's a positive thing. So, but the reason that happens, right, is because, again, getting better as a professional, and they see things aren't that bad. They see things are like definitely welcoming fandom. They see all that, and they're like, I want in on this. So thanks to all of y'all. I appreciate y'all, and don't think I don't see y'all, man. There's a lot of folks that are out there. I told y'all, and I'm not in the trenches, anymore. But there's a lot of folks that have gone to bat for me. I say this, I feel like every other stream, the folks that have gone to bat for myself as well as the company, that have gone out their way to correct the records, because there's a lot of things that get said out there that just obviously they're untrue. And I appreciate those that are out there showing love and again, correcting records. Especially there's a lot of content creators out there that are like, okay, this is not what's happening. This is actually what's happening. And I thank y'all for it, man. I respect y'all for it. I see y'all. Don't get me wrong. I see y'all. We all do see you. And we appreciate you, man. And I appreciate your passion, the fans. And a lot of folks, I think a lot of people get it twisted. Some of these are fans, and some of these guys become fans, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them just are objective, and they're just seeing it for what it is. They're like, this guy isn't that bad. This company isn't that bad. This is a severe overreaction. This is over-exaggeration. A lot of them are not even fans necessarily of myself or the company. It's more just calling a spade, man. So I either way, I thank you. I appreciate you, man, and much love to each and every one of you guys, man. Has Chuck started Alpha Core 2, says Alex. He has been kicking some ideas. I don't think he's officially started the script yet, but he's been kicking around some ideas. So, yeah. Thanks to you, Alex, as well as everybody that's looking forward to Alpha Core and everything Chuck Dixon writes, because Chuck Dixon is fucking amazing. He is. And I've learned so much from him as a writer because he's Chuck Dixon and he's so good at what he does. But seriously, you guys are going to love Horseman. The next Chuck Dixon project is another one that he has done. There are how many? Damn. Chuck is going to have, so if we include Alpha Core, Horseman, and there's the two unannounced Chuck Dixon projects. One's Joe Bennett is on. The other is a different project, but they were both robot. Chuck's got, that's 4 books, man. Chuck's cooking. And 5 if you include the script for another. Yeah, India. Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you too much. Cerebral Parasite with becoming a Lomac. Thank you so much and welcome. Chuck is a workhorse. He grinds, man. He grinds. There's also some other, and it's not a secret, that for Mike Barron, there's some other stuff that Mike's been working on, some other scripts that's got submitted as well that is not Goodyng. Everybody here is working. The Saskas have other stuff that they're working on, obviously. Yaira 2 is on the way. I'm seeing some of these pages from Deborah, who is so good that some people just don't want to believe it's her. That's always fun. But Deborah is working on Yaira 2. Right now, she's submitting some of these pages, and they're coming out clean. My man's Dan Vask in the chat. What's up, bro? See you. Shout out. What's up, John Douglas? I see you in the chat. John A. Douglas. Shout out Dan Fast, man. Big shout out. Cerebral Parasite becoming a little man. We got best name I could think of. Remember for 8 months says just finished the first Levon Cade book by Chuck Dixon, and it was a special level of badass. I think he's got a future in this business. Yeah, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. Thank you. Shout out again, my man Chuck Dixon, and everybody that has supported the Chuck Dixon projects. Thank you. So yeah, expect Goodyng soon. Expect a new website soon. Expect Rippersend probably within the next few weeks to a month. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We just got to make sure technically everything looks good. Yeah, we'll get Chuck on stream soon for sure. We will. Don't worry about that. We'll make it happen. I know he's got a project right now. It was Joe Frankenstein, the next that installment with Graham Nolan. Shout out. Zion with a 5 says, just getting started. Go Ripper Team, Chuck and the Soskas, Mike, Joe, and all the crew. Well, thank you, Zion. Appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. Much love to you. So, yeah, lots happening. By the way, I like $400 in super chats today. Holy shit! Sorry. Just got excited there. Big shout out. Shout out Dan as well. In the chat. The Wicked Plumber I did. Yeah, I got your gift of subs. Thank you. But my next projects, obviously ISOM 3. I guess maybe salvage. We'll see what happens. But there's another one that I'm going to be working on as well, obviously, with the ISOM 3 and its completion. And it won't be long before you see ISOM. It's just that, I've already told y'all that I wanted to finish out this arc, and then there's another thing that another property that I want to start working on as well. So, but ISOM it's going to like stop or anything. It's just, I'll get back to it after I finish this other stuff. Thank you. Everybody, all of yous. Yeah, I'm going to get with Ass and see if that spoiler talk stream will make sense to do Wednesday. We'll see. We shall see. All right, let me get out of here. I'm going to get to work. Got a lot to do. It is Saturday, and you guys know weekends are where I work. Thank you so much for showing all the love that you have shown. But I got to get up out of here. We'll see you Monday for Cannon's sake. We will see you as well as Wednesday. It'll either be Ripping the Silverback or Ripping the Silverback / Spoiler Talk stream. One of those. So I'll see you this upcoming week. I hope you all have a great day, blessed day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your time with your family. And shout out to everybody that's been showing love this past week. I thank you guys so much, man. But I got to get out of here and get to work. We'll see you Monday. Will be when I'm back for streaming. We'll see you Monday, man. Y'all take it easy. God bless, man. Peace out.